Hey guys, Sarah from ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of our PowerStop Z36 Extreme Truck and Tow 6-lug front brake pad and rotor kit fitting your 05 through 19 Toyota Tacoma. This is a complete front brake pad and rotor kit designed for both on and off-road performance. This kit features drilled and slotted vented rotors as well as carbon ceramic compound pads for less dust and noise. This kit is going to improve braking performance and is a great choice especially for those Tacoma owners with larger wheels and tires. Coming in at around $160, this is a budget-friendly way to not only replace but upgrade your brakes. I'm giving this install a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It can be done in approximately 3 hours with basic hand tools. Alright, with that said, let's jump right into our install. For this install we used impact guns, a 12mm socket, a 17mm socket, a caliper hanger, a caliper tool, and an optional but helpful tool is a set of needle nose pliers. Alright, so the first step in our install is to get our pads out, and we can do that by removing the clip at the back that's holding our pins in. Removing this clip at the back that holds both of our pins into our caliper, you're just going to pull down, and then you should be able to free this entire clip. At this point, if our pin is free, we can just push it out up top. You might need to help this out a little bit depending on your Tacoma, but ours was pretty easy, so remove that one up top, and now we can take the pin out at the bottom. Pulling out the second clip holding our bottom pin in, pull it out of this hole right here, and the hole up top. At this point, our pin should be free, and we can slide this one out as well. Next step before we can remove our caliper is that since this is a hard line here, we do want to remove this all the way off, and we can do that at the bracket right here. Grabbing a 12mm socket, let's remove this bolt. So we have our wheel turned a little bit to give us better access at the back of our caliper. We're now going to remove it using our 17mm socket. There are 2 bolts at the back of the caliper. Alright, so at this point the caliper is ready to come off. You're going to want to grab a brake caliper hanging tool or a bungee cord, whatever you have, to just get this up out of the way without putting pressure on this brake line here. At this point, you can also slide out your brake pads. With our caliper out of the way, we can now remove our rotor. Ours looks like it's going to come off nicely, but if yours doesn't, you can give it a couple hits with a rubber mallet right back here, or there is a bolt hole, you can drive a bolt in and it should pull the rotor out. Alright, now that we have our rotor off of our Tacoma, we can put it side by side with our new PowerStop rotor and really check out some of the differences. Obviously, as you can tell, this is a brand new rotor. It's going to look a whole lot better than our tired OEM one. But it is drilled and slotted, so that means it's going to stop a whole lot better than an OE replacement. Now we can get our new rotor installed on our Tacoma. Now because these are drilled and slotted, that also means they are directional, so you want to be grabbing the one that says driver side as opposed to the passenger one, but it is nice that they did label these for you. So let's get it installed on our Tacoma. I'm just going to put a lug nut on here just to hold this on while we grab our caliper, just for safety reasons. At this point, you want to grab a caliper tool that works for a dual puck caliper, and we're going to slide it in and expand our pucks to fit our new brake pads. Slide your tool in and make sure that it's ratcheting out to expand the pucks on both sides. Once you have the pucks expanded, we can now grab our brake pads and get the caliper reinstalled. We can now grab our caliper and get it reinstalled. Grab your 17mm socket and tighten down the bolts at the back of the caliper. With our caliper in place and tight, we can now reinstall our brake pads. First, installing the one with the feeler at the back and the holes facing up for our pins, slide it in. Same thing on the other side, but this one does not have a feeler. Now we can reinstall our pins, and you might want to put a little bit of lubricant that they include in the kit on these just to ensure they slide in and out nicely. When it's time to install your bottom pin, make sure this clip is in place before you do so because it has to pass through these bottom holes here. When installed properly, the ends of this pin should be in these holes. Finally, make sure you're installing the second clip at the back of your bottom pin. At this point, we want to reinstall the bracket that is holding our brake line. Make sure you line up this tab to the hole on the top and get our bolt threaded into the one on the bottom. Grab your 12mm socket and get this tightened down. With our driver's side complete, you can now repeat those steps on your passenger side. When you're all finished, make sure that you're pumping the brakes in order to seat the pads nicely on the rotor, and you might want to give the rotor a little spray down with brake clean just to clear some of the dirt and grease that you might have put on there during install. But that is going to do it for the review and install of our Power Stop brakes. Remember, for all things Tacoma, keep it at extremeterrain.com.